Hey, what's up everyone? John here from TestPrepInsight.com, and today I'm going to be doing an updated comparison of the language apps from Pimsleur and Babbel. These are two language programs we took a look at side by side a little over a year ago now, but since then both companies have actually upgraded and changed their programs, and I thought it would be best to do a new updated review video so that everything's current. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Compare Babbel and Pimsleur side by side, and I'll tell you which one is better and who each might be best for. And by the way, I should just mention up front here that since I'll just be focusing on the high level stuff in this video, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written comparison of these two apps over on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight, Pimsleur vs. Babbel. It's a quick way to find it. Okay, so first up, I'm going to provide a high level overview of how each app works before we dive into each program's strengths and weaknesses. I think this will help provide some context for my thoughts on these apps. So let's kick it off with Babbel. Starting at the top in terms of organization of Babbel's content, there are different learning levels within the program. Newcomer, beginner, intermediate, advanced, etc. And within each level, there are typically somewhere between 2 and 8 courses that cover different thematic topics. Think things like eating out, sports, travel, etc. And within each course, there's anywhere from 5 to 15 lessons to complete. So again, from the top down, levels, courses, lessons. The lessons are your base units, and assuming you have no working knowledge of the language that you'll be learning, you'll start with a newcomer level and you'll shoot to complete a lesson per day or at least a few per week. And as for the lessons themselves, each one is pretty short in length, generally about 15 minutes. They go by pretty fast and are definitely shorter than doing an entire Pimsleur lesson, which take about an hour to complete from end to end. The Babbel lessons are shorter because each one is comprised of a series of several quick hit, hands-on exercises. There's listed and repeat exercises, digital flashcards, fill in the blanks, matching pairs, matching phrases to images, completing mock conversations, some short instructional tips on grammar, and a few more. It's a very, very diverse approach to learning in terms of format that moves really fast. Babbel basically presents the same content for a lesson in a variety of ways and really forces you to interact with the material. Plus, before each lesson, there's typically a daily review session where you get spaced repetition and review on vocab that you've already learned in older lessons. Now, Pimsleur, on the other hand, is very different from Babbel. Their program is grounded in audio lessons and conversational practice. To start each lesson, you complete a 30-minute audio exercise where a moderator speaking in English guides you through a conversation step by step. You'll listen to a few sentences in your target language. The moderator will then briefly stop to explain the situation to you, and then he'll have you participate by answering questions and repeating phrases. This 30-minute audio exercise is really the heart and soul of the Pimsleur lessons and what they're known for. Then, after the audio lesson, you review and reinforce what you just learned through a variety of drills and exercises. It's kind of like class followed by homework in a way. These reinforcement drills include reading drills, digital flashcards, quizzes, pronunciation training, and speed games. Plus, they've got some supplemental features too, like vocab bonus packs and pronunciation practice with their voice coach tool. And that's Pimsleur in a nutshell. Core audio lessons followed by detailed review exercises with a few bonus tools wrapped around it all. So, at a high level, that's how the two companies compare. The key takeaway here is that Babbel and Pimsleur are very different in how they teach you a new language. Pimsleur lessons take close to an hour to complete from start to finish and place a very strong emphasis on listening and speaking in the context of simulated conversations, while the Babbel lessons are much shorter and hands-on, where you move through rapid-fire drills. And by the way, if you want to see examples of the lessons or drills from either company, make sure to check out that full detailed written comparison I mentioned. I'll have it linked down below in the description for you. I have screenshots and examples over there so you can get a better feel for how each program works. Alright, so before we jump straight into talking about what I like and don't like about each app, let's quickly talk about pricing and cost. So, Babbel uses a pretty classic subscription model which is fairly affordable. They offer 3 different subscription options: a 3-month plan, a 6-month plan, and a 12-month plan, which range from around $6 to $10 per month after discounts. And for those of you maybe looking to learn 2 or 3 languages, Babbel also offers a one-time purchase lifetime plan, which costs around $300 and includes access to all of Babbel's languages. Now, on the flip side, Pimsleur also has a couple different plans, both of which are just monthly pay-as-you-go subscription options. First, there's Pimsleur Premium, which gets you access to 1 language. That costs $20 per month. And then there's Pimsleur All Access, which gets you access to all 51 of Pimsleur's languages and costs just $1 more per month, i.e. $21. So in terms of cost, clearly Babbel is cheaper by around $10 to $14 per month, a pretty decent savings. Though I would just note that both Pimsleur and Babbel are in pretty fierce competition with each other and other apps like Rosetta Stone and Duolingo, and because of this, they're both pretty aggressive with running sales and discounts where you can usually lock in a lower rate. So make sure to check for coupon codes before buying. In fact, to make things easy, I'll actually toss any current discount codes and links I can find for both companies down in the description for you, so make sure to check that out before buying. Okay, so now that we've covered how each app works and cost, let's dive into the major strengths and weaknesses of each program. And let's start with Pimsleur. The first highlight of the Pimsleur program is that they're much better than Babbel at developing your listening and speaking skills. One of the biggest accelerants of learning a new language is getting frequent heavy doses of verbalization. You need to routinely hear and speak the new language you're learning to get comfortable with it, and Pimsleur just offers more of an opportunity to do that than Babbel. Now, Babbel does use a mock conversation in just about every lesson, but each one is just 2 to 3 minutes long, and it's nothing like what Pimsleur offers with their audio lessons. The Pimsleur audio exercises are great at building your listening and speaking skills, and you'll develop an ear for understanding the language much more quickly with their daily audio lessons. Then, my second highlight for Pimsleur sort of piggybacks on my last advantage. Because the Pimsleur audio lessons are audio-based, they're a lot more flexible than Babbel's lessons. So even though each Pimsleur lesson takes a lot longer to complete, about an hour versus 15 minutes for Babbel, the beauty of the 30-minute audio portion of each lesson is that you're not tied to your phone. For half the lesson, you don't have to be staring at a screen, matching word pairs and doing fill in the blanks. With the audio lessons, you can hit play and go about whatever you're doing. You can do a lesson while you're working out, folding laundry, gardening, doing the dishes, whatever. Any mindless task. Basically, I like that you can be productive with your time while still doing the lesson. It's a huge bonus. You can even do an audio lesson while you're driving because they have a special driving mode. It's a really nice feature. Then, third, I need to call out Pimsleur's new voice coach feature. This is one of those updates I mentioned. So, in the last year or so, Pimsleur has rolled out a new voice recognition software tool that so far is great. The program listens to you say different phrases and then gives you feedback on your pronunciation on a star system basis. So far, the accuracy of the feedback is really strong. When you screw up your pronunciation, it'll tell you with a poor grade. And one feature that I especially like about it is challenge mode. When you turn this on, you'll be prompted in English to say a phrase in your target language with no hint as to how to say it. So it makes you think critically about what you need to say, plus you still need to nail your pronunciation. It's very difficult, but very helpful. Anyway though, that's Pimsleur and what I like about their program over Babbel. So now let's get to Babbel's wins. But before I hit you with that, I do just want to mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a free language learning course to one lucky person. It's super simple to enter. Everyone out there is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description, but just know it takes like 10 seconds to enter, and hey, you never know. You could win a totally free subscription to Pimsleur or Babbel. Alright, so the thing I like most about Babbel's program over Pimsleur is the variety of drills and exercises. The Pimsleur audio lessons are great, and I love them for what they are, but they are essentially the same exercise over and over. In contrast, the Babbel lessons have a ton of variety in them, which keeps them very balanced and engaging. Like I said, there's listen and repeat exercises, digital flashcards, fill in the blanks, matching pairs, matching phrases to images, mock conversations, short instructional tips on grammar, and some others. For me, the diversity in the Babbel drills is great for keeping you engaged during lessons. Then, second, this sort of piggybacks off my last point about lesson engagement, but I like that Babbel's lessons are shorter. Again, to complete a full Pimsleur lesson, that is the audio exercise plus all the reinforcement drills, you're looking at around a full hour. Now, of course, you can always pause and stop a lesson halfway through for the day if you want, but I just prefer the short length of Babbel's lessons. They're great for squeezing in a lesson on your lunch break or after dinner. They just don't feel as taxing and are more bite-sized. Then, my third win for Babbel is grammar. When it comes to grammar, Pimsleur does things a little differently than most apps. Rather than more direct instruction, they kind of let you discover grammar intuitively through the audio lesson. The moderator will comment on grammar usage, such as verb conjugations and the like, but it's not deep or direct grammar instruction. It's more on you to intuitively pick up how the language works. And that's fine, and it has its own merits, but I do really like how Babbel does it. They take a more direct approach to working grammar into each and every lesson with exercises that teach grammar directly, as well as tips and call-out boxes that frequently appear to work in teaching points. Grammar instruction is just more prevalent in the Babbel program, and it's layered in a very smart way. Then, lastly, my final highlight of the Babbel program, which I'll keep quick, is their daily review sessions. Every day when you log into the Babbel app, you're prompted to do a quick review. Basically, Babbel takes vocab from old lessons you've completed previously and pulls them back in for a spaced review. So, over the course of the program, you'll see every word or phrase at least a half dozen times over the course of several months. Plus, you can choose how you want to review: flashcards, listening, speaking, or writing. Listening is my personal favorite, but I like that they give you optionality, and their review system is really strong for getting you to remember and internalize new words and phrases. For reference, Pimsleur doesn't have a formal review system, so this is a nice advantage for Babbel. But anyway, that about does it for the detail in this comparison, so let's get to my closing thoughts. This comparison is a really tough one. It's just hard to pick just one app. I really like Pimsleur for their deep and insightful audio lessons, supplemental drills, and their new voice coach feature, which has been a major value add. But I also like Babbel for their short, engaging lessons, spaced vocab reviews, and smart use of grammar. Both programs have way more pros than cons going for them, and I think they're both effective. That's why I think it really comes down to personal preference and situation as to which is best. If you need shorter lessons because of time constraints or you're just kind of ADD, then go with Babbel. The program will suit you really well. If, however, you have the time and patience for Pimsleur's audio lessons, they are incredibly powerful, and I think they will get you to fluency faster than just about any other tool. But at the end of the day, if you have the time and budget, the best choice might just be to use both. I've done that and it seems to work out really nicely. The programs complement each other really well. If you can do 2 or 3 full Pimsleur lessons per week, then fill in the smaller gaps in your day with Babbel, it would be a great combo. And that's all I've got for you. I hope this video was helpful and you learned a little something about both Pimsleur and Babbel. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping me a quick comment below. That would be really appreciated. And again, if you want to see that full, detailed written comparison I mentioned earlier in this video, just hop on over to our website, testprepinsight.com, or check out the other videos on our YouTube channel. We got a bunch of great content out there. But as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you next time.